G'day guys, we're back with Joe Peak and the Search for Purpose. I think this is video number 8. Now I had to chew this one over for a while. It's one that rings pretty close to the heart for me, so I'm sort of leaving myself vulnerable here, but that's what this journey is about. It's my search for purpose. So allow me to read from my notes, and we'll get into it. So today is called Conditioning versus Learning. And in my search for purpose, I'm going to look at conditioning versus learning. This is part of my unfucking myself process. So I believe we all get a lot of reasonably ordinary information, which leads to us, especially as children, we take things on board. Our brains are a sponge, and we believe basically anything because we've got no reference points. So to give you an example of conditioning, the most vile tool to corrupt and condition, in my opinion, is religion. Hands down, religion is an absolute prick. It is a tool to control and manipulate the masses. No normal person would strap a bomb to their chest or deny themselves the pleasure of the flesh, or fuck children and say, my sky wizard forgives me because of it. There's a big dirty blowfly in this room. Anyway, hands down is religion. My childhood or primary school was a Catholic doctrine. I was taught by narrow-minded, sexually frustrated women in black flowing robes. Not only that, they used to walk around with a cane. It was still legal back in my day, and they would beat you with it. So not only were they constantly pissed off, walking around and looked miserable, but they had these sticks that they could just lash out with anybody at any given moment under the guise of education. They spoke of a God that was all love. Now this is a kicker. Yet they used fire and brimstone, they used hell to frighten young minds into believing and doing what these representatives of God wanted. My own personal journey, this is a little bit close to the heart, but I'll read it out anyway, guys. This is for me. And I think I've got 2 followers, so it's not a kick in the nuts just yet. My own personal journey was one of fear and constant beratement, constantly telling me I was no good, and they were going to, you're going to hell and you're stupid and blah, 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 which is evil. How could you do that to a child? How could you do that to anybody? Like a dog not knowing what to do, and a dog in fear, it just pisses down its own leg and listens to whatever commands are coming. Now, I'm bipolar type 2, and I was blessed, or have been blessed, with a vivid imagination. When my mind was conditioned to accept and believe their lies, my mind became a very, very scary place to live. And as a child, that's not right. You should not be able to do that to people. By the time I was 20 years old, I was an alcoholic, a heavy drug user. I knew there was something different about me. I just didn't know what it was. And as a defense or coping mechanism, the drugs got harder. And eventually they were going up my arm. I was a heroin addict. But if I couldn't get the smack, anything goes. I started questioning my belief in a God. And this was my turning point. Turning away from conditioning and opening up to other possibilities. Not an easy task by any stretch. You've got to remember, this conditioning is thrust upon young minds, as I said, sponge-like minds. And you're in this, I come from a small country town, so it was like a gated community of all these people that just believe this bizarre shit. But you can't question it because everybody's believing it. You just can't get off the boat. You're part of the gang, whether you want to be or not. So yes, opening up to other possibilities. This was the beginning of unfucking myself. Unfucking yourself doesn't happen overnight. Not when you've been programmed or conditioned. And those who do the conditioning believe that what they're doing is right. These people will sow their beliefs into your very soul. And they don't see anything wrong about what they're doing. Because they too are a product of conditioning and not learning. So how do you unfuck yourself? Well, it's not an easy process. It wasn't an easy process for me. It's ongoing. It always has been. I firmly believe there is no God. You've got more chance of Santa Claus than you have of God. A celestial Jewish boy that is his own father, who was born to a woman he impregnated who was a virgin, and then when he died he flew holus bolus up into the sky. Had you put it to me that way when I was a child, I could have laughed. But no, they're good at what they do. They manipulate. And, you know, it's a good money earner for them. All religion is. I'm not just having a dig at the Catholicism or Christianity as a whole. They're all pretty fucking on par with the evilness. They come out with the intentions of being good, but yeah, you see a lot of people in mental institutes who think they're God or have God speak to them. You get a lot of people who kill themselves because they feel a certain way and their programming or conditioning tells them that that's wrong. And you know, people off on themselves over something as ridiculous as forced religion. So what worked for me, and I'm not saying this works for everybody, it's just my story, this is how it worked for me, was being around people that challenged me. They didn't berate me for my beliefs, but through their actions and their life stories, they showed me what it was to be human. They showed me how to forgive, love, and to be true to yourself. Now, I've had a lot of trouble with the last one, being true to myself. And the forgiveness too, I was a very angry guy for a long time. So you're trying to get through all that. And you would have thought that this is a religious teaching for other people to show you what it is to be human. Not the way they went about it. Now, I'm not saying that all the insight I received was inspirational and wonderful. It's up to you as an individual to filter through the information and take away the bits that work for you, and eventually the unfucking becomes learning. Now, this is a key point, guys. This is really, really important. The unfucking becomes learning. Once I hit the stage of learning, my conditioning slowly lost its grip. Why did it slowly lose its grip? Why was the unwavering faith that I was told to believe, or I'd end up living forever in a lake of fire, pitchforks and shit like that? How was that grip released? By learning. And I was able to see it as the flawed information as it is. You know, it's flawed information. It's still get on my high horse about it. The only way we stop learning is to believe in the conditioning absolutely. And if I believe what I've been told to believe, then there's no room for new information. There's no room for learning. Now, that's all from the book, guys. I'll probably just freestyle a bit here. Don't worry, I'm not going to sing Island Boy. I've still got a lot of that doctrine in me, whether I like it or not. You know, as I said, they sow it into your very soul. They don't give you a chance, especially as a kid. And if you don't believe me, Adolf Hitler modeled the Nazi propaganda around Christianity, as in the way it was enforced. You go, oh, that's bullshit, that's bullshit. Before you say a meal, you give thanks to some imaginary sky wizard. A greeting in Nazi Germany, whilst he was coming to power, this is before he started kicking off and going nuts, was Hail Hitler. It's before every meal, Hail Hitler. After every meal. Which is no different to saying, you know, praise be to God for this corned beef sandwich or whatever it is. So the modelling works. And then you take a look at World War II and it absolutely worked with the Hitler Youth Group, which might as well be bloody Sunday school. You can compare it to that. It's up to you as an individual if you want to be deprogrammed. As I said, it's not an easy process because you're going against the grain of everything you've been told to believe. Now, my blessing, I didn't see it at the time, but my blessing was getting out of that shitty little town and coming to the city. And it was a godless city. It really was. Nobody knew about God, or if they did, they didn't really give a shit. Maybe it was something that happened half an hour on a Sunday. And I was away from the doctrine. And that allowed me to question my beliefs and to learn and take on new things. As I stated before, I'm bipolar, man. So, yeah, that you believe. That's the end of it. I'm fortunate now that I'm on medicine and I'm getting a lot better. And for those of you who are experiencing mental health issues or you feel something's not right, go and seek help. It's not weak to speak. I'm all for this mental health, mental health quest, where you've got Mates in Construction and YB Blue or whatever it is. They're all out there. They're all very useful tools to help you. I've got a great GP. I see a counsellor or a psychologist, whatever she is, regularly once a month, whether I need it or not. And I'm married to my best friend, which helps so much. I mean, my wife is so beautiful and understanding. I'm very, very lucky to have her. And through her, she is just an abundance of love. And me accepting and learning to love, I've become a better person, a better father. I'm more tolerant. And I'm starting to mend old relationships. So there's hope out there, guys. It's just, if you want to unfuck yourself, you will. And if you don't, and you're happy, stuck in your dogma, or that's what you believe, and that's the end of it, hey, if it works for you, great, I'm happy for you. This is, after all, Joe Peak's Search for Purpose. So, guys, I hope you found that one insightful. Know that on the 22nd of this month, which is possibly 3 weeks away, I go and do my acting class, my toe in the water, so to speak. I'm excited. I'm very excited. A little bit nervous, but I was listening to Jordan Peterson today, and he said something very, very something that struck a chord with me close to the bone. And he said, the biggest regret people have when they're on their deathbed is the opportunity they didn't take. It doesn't have to work. It just means I have to go and have a dig at it. So, when I'm on my deathbed, I go, well, I tried that. It wasn't for me. Or it was for me. Or I had fun with it. So, guys, go and have fun with your life. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Big love to my 2 subscribers. And, peace, love, and mum fans. Until next time.